What a coincidence that is. Ms. Sellers, some people are thinking that you may vote against your own nominee.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, I mean, you nominated Josh Shaky Hands Seiden for the CPRB. That's what you told me.
Did I?
You said that, let me see if I get the quote right here. He applied. I'm giving him the opportunity to state his case as to why he should be appointed. Would you like a copy?
Oh, no, I have a copy.
Okay. I guess why are you trying to not take credit for that? It seems like you're trying to avoid it.
What is there to take credit for?
Well, my understanding is that everybody in the media has been asking who nominated him, and nobody wants to take credit for it.
I wasn't about taking credit. I'm just doing my job.
So you did? Are you gonna admit to somebody that you actually did it? See, it doesn't really matter, guys. She can do that. But there's the text. And Chris Condi has had this information for several days and has chosen not to tell anybody about it. She has a copy of it. So is she playing parliamentary games, gonna vote against her own nominee? No siding here today, I guess. Sherry, you give one of those to each of the commissioners. Amber's already declined one. And here's a copy for you. Copy for you. Are you with the Journal World?
That's very quick.
You with the Journal World?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Chris Condi's had that information for several days and decided not to tell anybody. And Kim wrote an article in your paper talking about how it's an unanswered question. I answered it for Chris several days ago.
Good evening and welcome to the August 13th, 2024 Lawrence City Commission meeting.
Water. There's again burden and a rendering what that would look like. And the biggest is in this concept is a much longer lazy river. And that again again on the and with that to be roughly a $2.4 million add to the current, making it a $0.5 million budget as an option. So the details on the concept, hand it back to Jake to next steps.
Thank you, Luis and Jeff. Jake Baldwin, engineering manager with municipal and operations. And up the presentation, this next couple of slides. First, let's talk about our next step here, of course, tonight, looking for approval of concept. Once we've got that, I'm going to come back to City Commission about as soon as we could.
Splash pad, and that increases the water recreation area back to the original 19,000 square feet of water. There's again bird's eye view.
This review board, we have 5 nominees and 3 open positions, is that correct? So we are in the same position where we need to choose fewer than the number provided. If there's any suggestions on choosing the 3 or removing any names from the list for consideration, please do so.
I would ask to remove Joshua Seiden from the list.
Okay, that's one name, and currently we are in need of 3 total? So we need 2 more. One more removed from the list.
Yeah, I nominate Douglas Miller, who's my second appointment.
Okay, so you would be the
Or
first.
not, you can.
Yeah. How about Adam Kellogg? Who suggested him?
I nominated Adam and I nominated Adam and
Cool.
So my nominees for this would be Douglas, Joshua, and Adam.
I would add that Brenda Clary was on the previous board. I don't know if we've got anybody on the board that was previously on the old board.
Amber seems to be pretty well in touch with that, you know.
And
I'm magical, I'm not that magical.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't think there were other candidates that had been on the board from last week.
Okay.
So I think it would help to bring a little bit of that
Continuity.
continuity.
I would say, I agree, it helps to have somebody on there, but the previous board, I don't know how much action was taken, but they do have all the training and experience on how to manage the situation. Okay, so Brenda would be a request from you.
Yes.
And Douglas Miller is you mentioned that, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then, so that leaves Rick Friedman. I didn't nominate him, but I think we have to choose 3. So, I'm not sure how to, do you want me to remove each one, or?
I would concur with Commissioner Larson in removal of Joshua Sutton. So if you needed that.
So that's definitely, so that leaves us to 4.
So are you formally voting him?
No, I'm just saying I'm just trying to get, we only have 3 spaces to fill, we have
Right.
5 people. So I need to get the number down to 3 so that we can vote. Now, if we want to change names, that's fine, but we can't vote on more than 3 positions. So we were going to go through the board and try to appoint these people. We've got 3 seats, so we need this list pared down by 2.
I would be fine with Miller, Clary, and Freeman.
If there's anyone who will push hard for it, it'd be for Adam.
For Adam Kellogg.
Yes.
My 2 cents, it'd be Miller, Kellogg, Clary.
Kellogg and Clary. Okay.
I think, I'm fine with that. I mean, it could be good as well. I'm okay with that, with Kelly. Clary and.
And would you okay if I move to vote for those 3 at once and see how we move?
Yeah, because you probably have a third no vote for Josh out there, but we're going to spare the dramatics and go ahead and
Please.
lean on the positive side.
I would appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
much. Okay, so, Mayor, why don't you propose that?
Yes, I move that we appoint Douglas Miller, Adam Kellogg, and Brendan Clary to the Community Police Review Board. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
Like a little
sorry?
question.
Sure.
I can do that, momentary. Are we saying in that order as far as positions for terms?
I didn't get down to brass tacks, I should,
Yeah.
because there is 1 term that's 2 years.
But just so we can, I had them in a different order, and then the mayor said based on as they came in, which is how.
Okay, so you're doing it as they come in.
But just keep in mind that the terms are not that different, because anyone serving a 1-year term is eligible for 2 additional terms.
Okay,
So, I mean, we can put them in whatever position you want, but
okay.
the 3-year terms and 2-year terms are eligible for 2 terms, but the 1-year term, because it's not over a year for the policy, they can get 2 additional
They can still get
terms.
2 additional, okay.
So they're all fairly even terms of what they're capable of being reappointed.
All right.
Okay, so it's a motion and a second for those 3. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0 on community.
Slid out of that Josh Seiden thing pretty good, didn't you, Amber? I know that there were a lot more than just one other vote. I don't think he had any votes other than yours, apparently. But you go ahead and keep reading whatever you're reading on there. Pay no never mind to what I'm saying, because I don't matter. Neither do the citizens that you insulted and harmed by even naming him to that board, even trying to get him on there. And you treat it as though it was just him, you allowing him to make his case. Go ahead and do that quote one more time here. He applied. I'm giving him the opportunity to state his case as to why he should be appointed. That's not a nomination. That's not a vote for the most qualified person, just like other people have been saying here. What was that? Was that a pat on the back and a career move for him? If you want to address it, go ahead. I'll give you my time. You don't want to address it? You didn't want to talk about it when the paper was asking over and over and over. And then somehow they ignore the person that knew. Justin comes in last week and talked about it. Where do you think he heard that from? Fighting for all those underprivileged people, nominating a guy like Josh Seiden. How does that comport? And do you figure that you're going to be able to make faces and trip me off tonight? Not going to happen, Amber. So you can go ahead and keep making all the faces and nodding the head and doing all that. It's just fucking respectful is what it is. Just like your nomination of Seiden to be on the Citizens Police Review Board. It's not like he was going to help it accomplish much because it really hasn't accomplished anything. Ms. Larson thought it accomplished something, but that was just a lie by the chief. It's incredible that you would do that and that you would let it float out there for 2 weeks while the community is just going crazy trying to figure out who did it and why they did it. And you sitting up there acting, I mean, I'm glad I'm getting all this on video because it's going to be good to slow it down and just show your responses. That's a arrogance I've not seen.
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. I'd like to talk about Amber Sellers' incompetence and her inexplicable nomination of Josh Seiden to the Community Police Review Board. Lawrence Times wrote an article on August 10th that's called Ex-Deputy DA Pleads His Case for Spot on Lawrence's Police Review Board. In it, the article says, he said during his time as a solo practitioner and then as deputy DA, he probably had, quote, somewhere in the ballpark of probably 10 to 12 complaints, unquote, filed against him. And he did not think Spees' complaint would impair his ability to do his job. Quote, I've never received any form of discipline. Anyone can file a complaint against anyone. And it's kind of an occupational hazard, Seiden said. Obviously, I walked myself right into this one. So Seiden's dismissive attitude there is trying to lead you to believe that 10 to 12 complaints is not a big deal for attorneys, but it is. 2 of those complaints are serious ones. One of them is from me where he dressed up as me when he was deputy district attorney, and the other one is from a case where he 17-year-old raped a 10-year-old girl, and Josh Seiden gave him a plea deal, and on top of that treated the family like absolute shit. It was appalling. The way Seiden treated that family is the way that you can see the same attitude in the videos of me when I went in there those 2 times back in January and February and recorded my interactions with him. It's the same condescending attitude. Anyways, me and Michael from Lawrence Accountability have been reporting on Seiden for months now. The local papers completely ignored it intentionally. And so I want to read some of the comments on some of the videos we posted. Disgraceful, Amber Sellers. I'll tell you why. You recommend a man who was dismissed for unprofessional behavior against a citizen, a man who insulted judges, a man who violated rights, a man who was so obsessed with hatred he was strutting around playing the fool when he had a court case to prepare for, which had to be delayed because he wanted to be a jerk. A man with a record of losing important cases that the community needed one to see justice. I'd ask why. I'd hate to believe it's retaliatory personal spite. Sounds about right, doesn't it, Amber? This is in regard to that case of the 10-year-old girl being raped. It's baffling to me that people with knowledge of this tragic event can put forward a man for a position requiring good judgment. Seiden has displayed on numerous occasions behavior that is so deplorable he isn't fit to hold any post of responsibility. What the hell is going on in their head? There can be no excuse, especially as they tried to conceal their nomination and sneak this snake in under the radar. Yes, I mean you, Amber Sellers. Minion lady. Shame on you. Blatant self-serving. If he's such a great candidate, why try to cover it up? Your endorsement of a guy who cheated a 10-year-old rape victim of justice. By nominating him, you are endorsing his bad choices. That's you, Amber. Champion of the people, right? Champion of the people. Wonder how many people Seiden put away unjustly. You care about them? No, you don't. You're a fucking phony. You're incompetent. You're fucking stupid, too.
Any other public comment?
ask you a question?
Sure.
Hey, so the previous commission, so you were just allowed previous.
I don't know exactly what went on, but it's yourselves what happened. Everything you've talked about in the videos that you posted, so.
We go from clip I have.
Tell Josh I said hi, Amber.
There's a mouse.
See, that's a leader able to stop and talk without being a jerk, I would bet as well. Can't believe you guys left that crazy, dangerous guy in there with our vice mayor. I mean, we're just these crazy, dangerous people. I'm surprised. That's the narrative everybody's tried to get. They're not going to acknowledge any of their favors that they get. That's part of the game. And I don't know why this little thing was worked out to where Amber got to get off so easy with that. Putting signing up for the CPRB, that was just insane. Sherry's going to stay in and protect him though. What are you going to do? Maybe she was waiting on him. Well, I kind of wish I hadn't walked out with them. I'd like to be in there listening to that, but that door's locked. She's not going to let me come in there. Junk World reporter walking out here. Hey, tell Condi I said he's a pussy for not reporting that stuff earlier.
Night, Vice Mayor.
I don't want to be in a position doing it wrong. Doctor, I don't want to be wrong. So, does that make sense?
It does. I appreciate it.
I mean that. So,
Okay.
I mean, just because everyone else is doing it wrong doesn't mean I don't do it wrong.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, Mike. I appreciate it.
Have a good night, Mike.
Oh, I bet he's waiting for me.
I can't hide.